Financial experts say these 5 steps can determine the success or failure of your retirement. If the finish line is 5 years away, it is a window that really decides everything. Today, I want to show you the data. The rules have changed, and those who make a living this way are telling anyone who has a long way to go before retiring to do it now. Let's start with disturbing numbers that everyone should be watching. According to the 2025 EBRI Retirement Confidence Survey, 3/5 of retirees leave before age 65. The median actual retirement age in the survey was 62. About 40% of retirees consistently report retiring earlier than planned. That is bad enough in itself. By 2025, 76% of early retirement reasons are completely beyond personal control, including health issues, layoffs, home care, company changes, etc. Another study of 3,600 retirees ages 62 to 75 by the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRI, found that 58% of retirees retired earlier than planned. Health problems accounted for 38%. Translation: the retirement date you circle on your calendar may not actually happen. 5 years on paper can become 3, or 1, or none. That is why every major financial institution, including Fidelity, Prudential America, Schwab, and AARP, think of this window as the most important planning period in your entire financial life. Here is what they say you have to do. First, run actual numbers, not vibrations. Fidelity's framework, built around Ryan Victorin, their vice president and financial advisor, start with one question. The real cost of retirement is not fantasy. You amassed a source of income, including Social Security, pension, annuity, dividends, interest, etc. You compare them to what your lifestyle actually needs. That is important, because the old rule of thumb was you need 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income. Fall apart. Fidelity's internal target is 50% of earnings before retirement at age 65, 40% at 70 plus Social Security. T. Rowe Price uses 75%. Kitches, a wealth management blog, publicly defends 70% of the numbers. But critics point out that this does not apply to high earners who are actively saving. Choosing a percentage is not the point. The general rule is not a plan that most people miss. Victorin recommends things that many people ignore. It was an actual test run. The idea is to live on a projected retirement budget for a few weeks while you're still working. If you're moving, live in that town, take the bus, shop at the grocery store, save, tourist, splurge. Because this exercise will soon tell you whether your dream lifestyle is math. Step 2. Get everything out as much as you can. This is your last real window into tax breaks. The ceiling for 2026 is higher than ever. In 2026, the standard 401 limit climbed to $24,500. If you are 50 or older, add in $8,000 to catch up, and your share price is $32,500. This is a question many people don't know. If you are between 60 and 63, Secure Act 2.0 introduced $11,500 of enhanced superfishing in 2026. That means you can hoard up to $36,000 a year. The ERA quota is also climbing. The standard price is $7,500 plus $1,100 for people 50 and older. But 2026 will be good. Undersecure 2.0. If you made $145,000 or more from the same employer the previous year, now your debt must flow into Roth's account in after-tax dollars. For high-income earners, it is a significant shift from the tax calculation for last year's work. If you have a high-deductible health plan, HSA is the most undervalued account in the tax code. Triple tax cuts mean donations are tax-free. Growth compounds duty-free. Eligible medical withdrawals will be tax-free. Victorian has a sharp tip. That is, if you can afford it. Pay current medical bills out of your own pocket. Invest in HSA. Keep receipts and repay them decades later. That would make the account a tax-free growth machine for retirement. Step 3. Complete healthcare planning before Medicare. Fidelity 2025 Retiree Medical Cost Estimate. Their 24th Annual Report. 65-year-olds who retire in 2025 are expected to spend $172,500 on healthcare throughout their retirement. That was 4.5% higher than the previous year. Estimate for a 65-year-old couple. In the first year alone, the figure was around $12,850. About a fifth of Americans admit to retiring without a health care plan. $172,500 is the number you should sit up. Medicare did not begin until age 65. The initial registration window ran for 7 months, covering the first 3 months of 65th birthday month, the month of birth itself, and the next 3 months. Missing it can be punishable for life. For delaying enrollment, if you plan to retire before age 65, these years you need a bridge plan, because the gap may be one of the biggest surprises. Long-term care is another part no one wants to consider. About a fifth of 65-year-olds will face long-term care costs of more than $200,000 over their lifetime. Industry data show the NBA sets the average annual long-term care insurance premium for single men at about $1,200. Single women are $1,900, and couples are around $2,600. Using insurance, self-financing, or hybrid policies is a private call, but ignoring it is still a doomed choice. Step 4. Make good Social Security decisions. This single choice will reshape your retirement income for the rest of your life. In 2026, for people born in 1960 or later, the official retirement age is 67. You can apply as early as age 62. But Social Security itself confirms that doing so would permanently cut benefits by as much as 30%. The maximum benefit for full retirement age retirement in 2026 is $4,152 a month. By the time he retires at 62 in 2026, the ceiling will be reduced to $2,969. Instead, delay retirement credit. If you wait until age 70 to reach full retirement age, you will receive an additional benefit of about 8% a year. The goal is an 8% return, something nowhere else These are wrinkles that no one likes to talk about. The 2025 report of the Social Security Trustee, issued in June, advanced the depletion date of the Consolidated Trust by 1 year to 2034. The Pension and Survivors Insurance Fund itself is expected to run out in 2033. Without legislation, that would result in a sharp cut in benefits of about 23%. The EBRI 2025 survey found that 60% of workers and 80% of retirees were worried about Social Security changes. A real debate is underway. In fact, the Journal of the Financial Management Association published an article in February 2024 entitled "Postponing Social Security Retirement Benefits May Be a Mistake." The traditional wait until -70 recommends ignoring break-even risks and shortening life expectancy. There is no single correct answer. There are only the right answers to your situation. Step 5. Clean up the balance sheet and formulate a withdrawal plan. Victorine was outspoken. Her exact words were, quote, "Credit card debt should be eliminated if possible, if your balance cannot be repaid. The stark truth," she added, "is that you may need to extend your retirement, because high-interest debt and retirement income don't coexist well. If you still have wages in your account, it is also a window to eliminate large expenses, including roofs, HVAC, kitchen finishes, cars. Dealing with these costs now saves you from raiding your portfolio in the 3rd year of retirement. This is when sequential risk does the most damage. The exit strategy itself is controversial. The 4% rule, founded by William Bengen in 1994. The study found that retirees can safely pull 4.15% in the first year, and then adjust annually for inflation, based on historical data from 1926. In a new study, Mr. Bengen revised that number. In 2025, he told CNBC that inflation was the biggest enemy of retirees. Whatever interest rate you decide, income sequence risk is still a killer. An MIT Sloan analysis found that about 77% of the final retirement results could be explained by average returns over the first 10 years. This means that the bad markets of the first decade will cause permanent damage. That is why advisors are trying to ensure that revenue covers fundamentals and is flexible in divesting from the growth side. There is also a tax element. Under the Safety Act 2.0, for people born between 1951 and 1959, the required minimum distribution does not take effect until age 73. Once the change takes effect on the 1st of January 2033, people born in 1960 and beyond will receive 75 points. The gap between retirement and the start date of RMD has become a major area of Ross's transition ladder. Before RMDs forces you to sell, you move a lot of traditional ERA money to a smaller, lower tax Ross. This is where everything lands. 5 years is impossible, not because you're behind, but because you still have control. Mr. Ma's donation is still under discussion. Debt repayments are still under discussion. Test drive your budget. Lock in your Medicare hours. Optimize the Social Security date. Create a medical buffer. And converting currency into Ross before tax changes. All of this is within reach. EBRI's data tells us a cruel truth. That is, most people have no choice when they retire. That means the only honest plan is to be prepared earlier than you think you need. Confidence in retirement is not a perfect number. It comes from making a plan to get through bad markets, bad health, and bad timing. You have 5 years, or 3 years, or a year left. Use them